After months of speculation, Al Horford has officially left the Boston Celtics and committed to a multi-year deal with the Golden State Warriors. Horford was a core part of Joe Mazzulla's championship-winning roster in 2024. Horford becomes the fourth member of that championship team to leave the TD Garden this summer. He joins Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, and Luke Kornet, all of whom left via trade or free agency. After spending 7 of the past 9 years with the Boston Celtics, including their 2023-24 NBA championship season, Horford enters his 19th year in the league as the Warriors' new starting center, ESPN's Shams Charania wrote. Horford verbally committed to the Warriors on Sunday, sources said. The sides are working through the final financial terms, with a signing in the coming days after the final decision from restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga, a source said. Horford suited up for 60 games last season, averaging 9 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 2.1 assists. However, it's his leadership, defensive versatility, and glue guy skill set that will be missed by the Celtics. Of course, the fan base will undoubtedly understand Horford's reasoning for moving to the Bay Area as he continues to seek out opportunities to contend for a championship. Horford is yet to sign his contract with the Warriors. That will likely take place after a resolution to the Jonathan Kuminga standoff has been found. Celtics front court is a major issue. Horford's departure confirms what many Celtics fans already knew. The front court is going to be a rough watch in the upcoming season. Neemias Queta, who was the fourth-string center last season, will now step into a starting role. Luka Garza, Chris Boucher, and Xavier Tillman Sr. will provide competition for minutes and potentially for Queta's starting spot. Nevertheless, there has been a serious talent drain at the forward and center positions. Not only will the offense suffer, but the defense could become nearly porous. Joe Mazzulla will undoubtedly need to implement new offensive and defensive systems to get the best out of his young and inexperienced roster. Furthermore, he may need to simplify the defensive principles to ensure the current rotation can execute at a consistently high level. Celtics not operating with a tax goal in mind. Brad Stevens started the summer with a difficult task. Following Jason Tatum's Achilles tendon tear, it made no sense to keep a roster together that would cost almost $500 million in payroll and taxes. Through multiple moves, Boston is now firmly under the second luxury tax apron and could yet drop out of the luxury tax completely. Of course, those moves, when coupled with a change in ownership, generated some concerns among the fan base. However, Stevens looked to ease those worries during a recent news conference. We're looking at it from the standpoint of, let's see what this team looks like, Stevens said. Let's put our very best foot forward. We'll evaluate the roster like we always will as the year goes on. But there's no tax goal. There's nothing that's set in stone that we have to get to a certain level. The level, obviously, where we were earlier this summer, that's not close to where we are now. And listen, we've said goodbye to awesome people and really good players. But I think we've added people who are excited to add their strings together and see what we can do. So, while the Celtics losing Horford will undoubtedly hurt, the fan base can rest assured that Stevens will have the green light to spend when the time is right. However, at present, the most logical move is to reset the rotation and begin adding exciting young talent around the core of Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White. How things play out from there will remain a mystery for now. Entering his 17th NBA season, Golden State Warriors superstar Steph Curry may be in the best physical condition of his life. In an interview with Responsible Gaming's Mark Medina, Curry's trainer, Brandon Payne, revealed that the two-time MVP's first step quickness is the fastest it has ever been, remarkably at the age of 37. His first step quickness and explosiveness is the fastest that it's ever been, if not faster, Payne said of Curry just days before Warriors training camp. But as players age, the one thing they can do is continue to work on processing information fast and make faster decisions to offset any gap that is created with losing a step. That hasn't happened with him yet. So when you combine the fact that physically he's still at a peak and now he's making decisions faster, we have a very quick player out there. Steph Curry has bulked up. Payne also confirmed that Curry added significant muscle in the offseason to help him absorb more physicality and contact, especially while running through screens. Steven is certainly a lot stronger, Payne said. Carl Bergstrom did a great job with him in making sure that he's not only strong but healthy. He's continuing to get stronger. That's always fun to watch fans talk about, not only with Steph, but with other players. That's always a fun talking point. The 37-year-old guard made the All-NBA second team last season for averaging 24.5 points, 6.0 assists, and 4.4 rebounds on 44/40/93 shooting splits. He appeared in 70-plus games in consecutive seasons for the first time since 2015-16 and 2016-17, proving that he's still at an elite physical condition and not showing any signs of father time. Payne spoke further on Curry's ability to produce at a high level into his late 30s and explained why he expects the best version of the four-time NBA champion this season. Still playing at elite level. I expect him to be Stephen Curry, Payne said, previewing the 2025-26 season. I expect him to be not only the exact same guy, but a guy that is extremely driven to win at a high level and perform at a high level night after night for the fans. I said many years ago, there was some guy at ESPN or a stats company that came up with all of these stats that said, Stephen Curry is the oldest player to do this and Stephen Curry is the oldest player to do that. I made the comment then that we're going to keep that guy in a job for a long time because we're not going to slow down anytime soon, laughs. I still think Steph is going to keep that guy pretty busy this year. There will still be more. Steph Curry is the first person at 37 to do this. I fully expect more of those. The Warriors were 22-5 when Curry and Jimmy Butler III were in the lineup last season. It took a hamstring injury to Curry for the Warriors to lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves in the second round of the playoffs. The Golden State Warriors remain stuck in limbo with Jonathan Kuminga. Negotiations around his extension continue to stall, with ESPN's Anthony Slater reporting the forwards camp wants a player option added to Golden State's $75.2 million offer. Until it gets sorted, the team has struggled to make other moves. Now, a former NBA All-Star has weighed in with his own advice. Why Teague thinks Monk fits the Warriors. On a recent episode of his Club 520 podcast, former NBA guard Jeff Teague suggested the Warriors should target Malik Monk in a potential trade. Malik Monk could actually be a fire addition to the Warriors, but I think they are set in a big. That's what they need more than anything. I think he'd be a fire addition though, because they need a spark plug like him. That's the Jordan Poole type of player right there, Teague said. Teague sees Monk as a scorer who could thrive next to Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler, playing a role similar to Jordan Poole during Golden State's 2022 championship run. Why the Warriors have hesitated. The trade concept has been floated for months. Kuminga to the Sacramento Kings in exchange for Monk and draft compensation. But according to Sam Amick, the Warriors' interest in Monk has been muted. Several obstacles to a deal remain, most notably the fact that the Warriors' interest in Monk appears to be quite muted, Amick reported. His contract is the primary issue, as he has a player option for the 2027-28 season worth $21.5 million that does not fit with the Warriors' future flexibility plans. There are concerns about his fit on the team as well. If they did take him on, team sources said it's likely Golden State would look to trade him elsewhere. The problem with that path, however, is that there's no clarity as to whether that would be possible anytime soon. What Monk brings to the table. Monk's production last season makes it clear why some, like Teague, see him as a fit. The 27-year-old averaged 17.2 points, 5.6 assists, and 3.8 rebounds per game. He played that role while sharing the floor with high-usage stars like DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine in Sacramento, showing he can excel without dominating the ball. Teague even argued Monk could thrive more than Poole did in Golden State's system. I think if he got in that system with those veterans and those players that could mold him a little more, he'll probably be better than Jordan Poole, to be honest, Teague said. I'm not saying he's a better player. Jordan Poole is cold, but Jordan Poole grew up in that system, so he figured out how to be successful in it. What's next for the Warriors? Golden State has to decide how far they are willing to go with Kuminga. Teague believes adding Monk would give the Warriors a reliable scorer to support Curry and Butler. But the front office is wary of Monk's contract and whether he is worth sacrificing long-term flexibility. The season is closing in, and the Warriors do not have unlimited time. Kuminga's extension standoff and the Monk trade rumors remain unresolved. Whether Golden State stays patient or makes a bold move, the clock is ticking.